Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eternal Flames. My name's Blaze, and this is Blaze Recommends, the show where we recommend games that, well, we don't feel like we can turn into a show, but we still want to see you guys play. So, what is Tree of Life? This is an interesting little game, and there's quite a lot here. If you notice, this is our base. Me and a bunch of friends of mine have been playing this for the past couple days, and we've done pretty good for ourselves. But let's talk about first what this game is about, second the good and bad things, and then finally, is this game for you? Now let's start off with this. This is a early access game, meaning it is not complete, it is bound to change over time, and due to this you should be wary when buying it, because things that you may like may not stay, but things that you hate may also change for your benefit. So let's go and get started. Tree of Life is a survival game. Now when I say survival game, this means you have to eat, you have to take care of your character, and of course there's the hunt for food and resources on the regular basis. Technically this means that Minecraft is a survival game, but it's a very soft-core survival game. And Tree of Life is no different in those regards. Also, my graveyard. Haha. So, in Tree of Life, one's job is to more or less survive and thrive in sometimes hostile environments, sometimes not so hostile environments. So let's go ahead and move on. So, there's a couple aspects that I really want to cover, and I don't want to take up a ton of time. This doesn't need to be a half-hour thing, but we need to cover as much as possible. PvP in this game is a bit weird. Now, what do I mean by weird? Well, if you notice, our town is right there, and there's another guy's town over here. Now, towns can be relatively close within reason, almost damn near on top of one another from what we've noticed, and this can sometimes cause discrepancies over territory and all that. You can also terraform in the regards that you can change the landscape, but there is no digging up of land. Like, I cannot just swing my pickaxe and change this. This means that, yeah, we can turn a desert into a forest if we really try. Or we can easily turn a forest into a desert and completely nuke the surrounding trees, opening up an area. What about more about PvP? Like, a couple of you are like, well, there's PvP. Does that mean there's raiding? Yes, there is raiding. But raiding comes at a price. When you do something bad, like murder, steal, or anything like that, you're going to get yourself a criminal record. Now, I've been a good boy. I have been a good boy. So what was the smoking thing in my hand then? Well, this is quite literally a trace of evil. Now, this trace of evil, I'm going to sell out someone who kind of screwed over my crew early on. This asshole right here, Levington actually came over to our place and tried to demand tribute and managed to kill us a couple times. We've since resolved the problem, but it doesn't change the fact that they came over and they destroyed some of our stuff and tried to steal from us. When they tried to steal, they dropped this, a trace of evil. These traces of evil can be used for something very specific. If I right click and drag, I can set a bounty. Now, I'm not going to do that because I kept this strictly for show purposes. We've technically had multiple traces of evil on Levington, and let's just say the bounty's been collected already. It's been a pleasure, Levington. Okay, so obviously I'm talking about the bounty system. What else is there to PvP? Is it like super aggressive? Like, do people do like on Ark and just completely wipe towns? Not really. To be more specific, the reason why certain towns are allowed to exist near one another aren't just the bounty system, because the bounty system is nice, but what really stops us is, well, defenses are better than offense in this game. You have to build your offensive siege machines just outside someone's base. This means you literally gotta come outside someone's base, grab the materials, build the siege weapon on spot, and then start firing into the walls, and hope stuff like these arrow cannons right here don't hit us, which is the thing. Now, aside from that, what about like passive animals and livestock? Like, do they get aggressive like in Ark? Like, is this gazelle similar to a trike? Nope. it runs away. Are there different kinds of weapons? Yeah. There's bows, there's ballistas, there's cannons. The bigger weapons, like the ballistas and cannons, are the weapons that I'm talking about, siege weapons, which you need to kind of build on the spot, and they don't really move. On the contrary, you've got animals like wolves, and then you got mystical animals like kobolds and sharkmen and stuff like that, which is interesting. Okay, well, back to some of this other stuff, like how hard is it to feed yourself? Well, if you notice, right now my food is dropping. I've got 600, and it drops about one every second and a half, somewhere in there. Because of this means that you have to eat fairly constantly, and there's really no way to get that up, which for some people is going to be kind of a piss off. And if you notice, food also has a cooldown, so there's that. You also notice I'm missing HP now, which, if you also notice, I'm not regenerating. So how do you fix that? Is there like potions or band-aids? There are bandages, but you can also get your food up, and you will slowly start trading food for HP. Kinda nice, right? Excuse me. Okay. So we talked about combat a little bit. What about gathering? How hard is gathering? Gathering in this game right now is a pain in the ass. It is very grindy, but not as grindy as some of the other survival games out there, like Life is Feudal, where you're gonna spend days, months trying to get together a base with just like your 2 or 3 friends. This base right here, between 6 people, took about maybe 48 hours. And this is a pretty low grade base. This, for 48 hours, is pretty good, but anybody who's strong enough can still lay siege. Okay, Blaze, okay. So resources are not super plentiful? No, resources are plentiful. They just take a while to get a hold of. Like you guys saw the iron node. This is a tree. And then a tree would drop logs, and you gotta break down the logs with the same axe to get firewood, and then you might have to process the firewood again to get other resources. So it's less the fact that it's hard to get resources and more just the fact that it's tedious, time consuming, and especially the earlier in the game you are, the harder it is. Okay, Blaze, okay, cool. So what about advancement? Do you always have all your recipes right off the bat? Actually, no. This is the part that people are going to get mad at, and this is going to turn them away from the game. Or maybe it'll turn them onto the game. So, in this game, unlike Ark or a couple other games, where you learn to craft stuff through leveling, this isn't too far off, but you're going to use a different system. This system is right here. Masteries. If you notice, there's an up, a down, or a lock. In this case, I'm going to set this to up, and I'm going to lock my martial arts because, hey, I like using my fists as much as the next guy, but can only do so much, right? So, what's this mean? Well, this means that you have a finite amount of points. You're only going to level so far, and you're going to have to pick and choose. Currently, the max level for anything is 50. This means that you can get 50 in instruments, or 50 in two-handed, or 50 in sewing, or 50 in archery, or blacksmithing, or carpentry. So this means that, yeah, while you are going to have a lot to work with, you also have very little to work with. Okay. So what about the single-player game? Is the single-player game any good? You could play this game single-player. You really could. You can still do a lot single-player. But it's going to be harder. You're going to have a hell of a time playing this game single player. And that's a fair warning. If you try to do this single player, you will be running into the fact of you've got to build and carry around resources left and right. Like those logs, we could actually have carried that big old log and used it for construction in our little village here. Okay, we get the idea, Blaze. So what's the good, what's the bad? Good news. Let's just go straight into good news. So the good thing about this game is it's a lot of fun, especially with friends. Build a town, build a fortress, build a castle, you know, build some amazing things. Put them together, make things, you know, kind of work out and kind of just go nuts, you know? This game is pretty noob friendly, and if someone screws you over, you're pretty good. Second thing, in death, unless you have committed a crime, you will only, and I repeat, you will only lose one item from your stock of items. This means if I were to go out and die right now, I'm going to lose one piece of armor, or I'm going to lose one thing from my inventory. Generally, it tries to take from the inventory first, and even then it's like, oh no, I lost some firewood, or oh no, I lost a piece of small meat. Boo-hoo, you lost a piece of small meat. You'll turn into a ghost when you die, and you can wander around as a ghost, and you will respawn where you are as a ghost after a certain amount of time is done, or after you collect so many crystals. You guys will see what I mean when you play the game. What other good things are there? Defense wins over offense. People who love to be assholes are going to have a harder time taking down your base than they would on, say, Ark Survival Evolved, or Rust, or I can name a dozen different survival games where the raider almost always wins. This is not the case. This game supports defense over offense. The ability to make a good base is the better skill than the ability to tear one down. Okay, those are the good things. What about the bad things? Let me know what's horrible. Well, let's flip the cards a little. If you're a raider, this game is awful. People get to put bounties on your head, which other players can collect, which means if I were to actually put a bounty on Leviton, they will literally be hunted down by other players who can see them on the map. And we can see you on the map. Matter of fact, all these guys right here are criminals. I could go here right now, kill them, they will drop all their stuff. All of it. Like their entire inventory. Because they have committed a crime. And I can reap the bounty. What this means is I can get the money. Did you just say money? Yes, in this game there is money. Money is used to repair instead of supplies. So instead of having to recollect that 1,000 wood or whatever, instead you're going to actually go and use money. Which we will show right here. Got some silver coins and some bronze coins, and I got some rare bronze coins. They're not worth more than bronze coins. I don't understand. Like I don't understand. I don't know the difference between rare and not rare bronze coins. Doesn't make sense to me. Hey, legendary twig. We have a legendary stick. It's the stick of truth. The stick of truth. Okay. So what other bad things are there? Well, the game can be kind of grindy. Like when I say kind of grindy, I mean it can take you a while to get built up. Like I said, between 6 people, we built this in 2 days. But you're talking 2 days to build all this stuff, and we're maybe like partway in some skill trees. Like we have so much to go. Me personally, I'm the group blacksmith, and I'm only barely getting into like good sabers, and I can just now like start to think about what I need to get for a shield later on. So it could take a while. It could take a lot of effort. You got to put some hours in to get somewhere. Okay, well, who's this game for? What would you recommend? This is a casual, quote unquote, a casual survival game. This is a game where you're going to spend time casually getting resources, casually making friends or enemies, and kind of dealing with the environment and wandering all over. This is a game where you're going to take a lot of time to really just sit back and get stuff done. And the nice part is since it is hard to really destroy people's stuff, this is in people's favor. For those of you who do not want to, oh no, they stole my stuff while I was asleep, or oh no, they're going to murder my cattle while I'm offline, or oh no, they're gonna rob from my house. This game actually puts into perspective other things. It actually allows the casual gamer to be the survivalist as comparison to the raider, which so many other games really push for. Okay, well, you just said all that. What about who is this not for? Well, this is definitely for not for the hardcore survivalist. If you're a hardcore survivalist, and when I say hardcore, I mean you enjoy the grit of being run down by a T-Rex and then coming back and taming said T-Rex, or you enjoy, fighting that guy with the AK-47 and showing him who's boss later on in the game, or you enjoy the struggle to find food and water, and you gotta make it through the night just to, build up a little bit and then watch your stuff just crumble and then build up again. This is not for you. This game is vastly more easy, vastly more simple, vastly more forgiving, I guess is the better word. And the survivalist who wants the nitty-gritty hardcore is gonna hate this game. This is not a hardcore survival game. It should not be advertised as a hardcore survival game, and by no means should you treat it as a hardcore survival game. It is completely unnecessary to treat it that way because it's just not. It's also not for the hardcore raider. If you're looking to screw people over, you're gonna have to wait till super late game. Matter of fact, I'll even show you. Right now, I have a two-handed sword, right? And I said before you use coins to repair stuff, so I'm gonna grab some coins. This is what it takes to destroy a building. That's 7, so look at this. This is what I'm having to do to try and destroy this cabin. Which, mind you, belongs to me, so none of my teammates can argue. But, look at this. This is gonna take a while. This is with the two-handed sword done in blacksmith, and blacksmith takes a while to even get up. So, if this is what it takes to destroy a building, imagine destroying this entire town. You'll be here for hours unless there are like 4 or 5 of you. Being a raider in this game does you no kind of good, no kind of wealth. You're gonna lose. And if you look at that, I just repaired that building with 1 coin. All that work that I just put in trying to chop at this thing, just gone. And to make matters worse, if I was from an enemy clan, these arrow towers are basically auto turrets. They would have ripped me to shreds, and they're all over this encampment. These smaller ones are not as good, but they can still do damage, and it's like 20 damage a pop, 12 hits, I'm dead. That's it. So yeah, if you're a hardcore raider, don't even bother, you assholes, unless you have the patience for late game to build a cannon or get the super good armor or the super good weapons. In which case, yeah, this town's toast. Like, those weapons are gonna slice through my territory like butter. In which case, you're an asshole. Go fuck yourself. Go away. Also, good luck. I wish you the best if you're gonna be that kind of raider who's gonna wait for that long and somehow hold in the temptations. Okay. So we've gone over all that. Once again, this is the Tree of Life. This is a amazing casual survival game that you guys will probably really enjoy. But you also need to take into consideration that it is just that. It's casual. It's meant to be fun, to be silly, to be kind of dorky, to go out and just dick around with friends, to explore. It is not, I repeat, it is not for those hardcore guys. And to be honest, there's enough hardcore games out there like Rust and Ark, and oh man, we could. Life is Futile. There's enough of that. We need a game like this, at least 1 or 2 for the people who just want to dick around. I've been Blaze. This has been Tree of Life. You guys take care, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you next time here on the Eternal Flames. So yeah. Bye, everybody. Oh, and just remember, anybody can, you know, survive in this game. Just be sure to be ready to kick some ass, and don't be afraid to fight back if someone attacks you. Bye. Ooh, swordsmanship to level 11. Nice. Got my strength up a little bit higher. Did I increase my damage? Ooh, I think I might have. Woohoo! I'm gonna go kill some more wolves. Oh man, I wish he would have planted these maple trees a little bit closer. These look nice. We could turn this into Canada. Oh, Canada! Wow, they spread pretty far.